If you want to start dressing better right now, this video is for you. And it doesn't matter if you're just starting out and don't know which way is up or down, or if you just want to be more confident with your combinations. Because today I'm not only giving you several tips that will make it wonderfully easy for you to create great outfits in the future, but I'm also giving you the best brands to do so. And no, not everything has to be super expensive. With the help of this video, you'll be able to be more strategic when shopping for clothing in the future. Because you'll be able to make the right decisions on the most important items, which will then help you build a wardrobe that has more outfits than you've ever had before. Let's start with the most important tips and then move on to the right brands. And by the way, you can find the links to the items mentioned here in the video description, along with the link to my newsletter, in which I help you to build up your basic wardrobe. And before we go on with the tips, you might be asking yourself, why am I sitting here surrounded with an all-white background like Morgan Freeman in the movie Bruce Almighty? That is because this chair is the only thing we haven't packed yet. This is the last video you'll see from me coming out of Germany. Our next stop is Miami, Florida. So now let's start with the video. The first tip is create a basis and simplify. The most important thing to start with, whether you are building a wardrobe or just want to learn how to create an outfit, is to work with simple monochrome garments that are as pattern free as possible. Yeah, my wife wants me to open the wine bottle for her.
Sorry guys.
Sorry for the unplanned intervention. We were talking about pattern-free items, easy to combine. Exactly. What I mean is that is because they form the basis of our wardrobe and allow us to combine different pieces with each other without the pattern or structure of one piece getting in the way of combining it with another. Our big learning here is it is no use if you have lots of special individual pieces if you don't know how to put them together to form a whole. This example illustrates it quite well. Jeans and t-shirt without any pattern, very simple. A sweater on top and a coat, again without a pattern. Let's leave aside whether you like round neck t-shirts with v-neck sweaters. It's all about the principle here. Simply by laying a solid foundation, you can easily create great combinations. Another example, you can also create basic outfits like this one. It's chic, but it's still simple. You can then combine various types of jackets and of course add highlights with patterns or an eye-catching item of clothing. But more on that later. Hey, and assuming you already own a lot of items with prints and patterns, let's say Jack and Jones, I would do the following. Here I would advise you to always use just one eye-catching item, let's say a t-shirt with a print, and combine it with quieter basic items of clothing, as just described, to visually slow down the look. So we'd rather combine this print t-shirt with a pair of plain jeans, a minimalistic sneaker, and a subtle jacket, instead of a super distressed jeans, two-tone shoes from Bugatti, and an eye-catching functional jacket. One printed or patterned piece per look, no more. If we use logos and patterns, we do so only to create highlights, like here with the jacket or here with the sweater. The rest remains simple to achieve a pleasant effect. Less is more in this case. So before you head out and purchase another item with crazy patterns and fall in love with the richness of detail in a garment, first ask yourself whether you have enough basic items that you can combine it with. If not, hands off. We only become more specific with patterns and colors once we have a solid foundation to build on. Also, a very important aspect of minimalistic garments is that they can be inexpensive, but the overall look looks more expensive if the combination is well done. In addition, you can't be pigeonholed by price because neither you have a large Gucci nor a large Jack Jones logo on the items that reveal whether they were expensive or perhaps even cheap. Just look at these two outfits. There is no indicator how much the items cost, but they look great. This coat here is from a Zara sale and this vest is from eBay for around $25 and the sweater also $35 from a sale. Our huge learning here is keep it simple, avoid branding and increase combination options. And of course, now the question arises, which brands offer us these products? So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's start with less expensive and then go on to the point where it just gets ridiculous. Uniqlo. Uniqlo is a great place to go for the majority of your basics. You can buy everything from underwear to sweaters, hoodies, jeans, vests, and sometimes even short coats and trench coats. I wouldn't buy too much there, but mix and match with other brands as the pieces really are very simple. But it's a really good place to buy individual items for your basic outfit. And link below, of course. After that, it's getting a little more elevated and we head on to Massimo Dutti. This is, so to speak, Zara's upmarket brand and picks up exactly where Zara leaves off, namely better quality and more timeless designs. A little more in the minimalistic direction, but also a little more expensive due to more sustainable approaches, are Ascot and Arcot. These brands also produce great basics like Uniqlo. But again, you shouldn't dress yourself completely in just one brand. It's better to just pick out individual pieces. Otherwise, you look more like a Berlin hipster than a timeless, well-dressed man. And how do you know what to shop at which stores? Well, just subscribe and let me do the work for you, just like in this video. The Scandinavian brand A Day's March is also in the same segment, which hasn't really made it to the US and other other markets other than Sweden yet in terms of popularity, but offers brilliant products. If you want something more classic, the brand No Label is simply genius. I've known them for over 7 years now and have been following their work constantly, and have to say, hats off, they really know what they're doing. In the same segment, but more expensive, are Pini Parma and Suit Supply, which I'll talk about in another context in a moment. For me, Luca Faloni is the top of the range because the quality of the brand is absolutely fascinating, but the prices are correspondingly high. The most expensive is Brunello Cucinelli, which is also a brand that impresses with its subtle colors. However, there is no way on earth I will be spending $2,000 for a sweater or a sum of around $15,000 for a whole outfit. And I'm just talking about one outfit. Sorry, not sorry. It's not that I don't like the brand, but I genuinely think this is burning money. Go with Luca Faloni and you're getting your money's worth. And by the way, this isn't sponsored. I just love the brand Luca Faloni and I would love to work with them. If you guys have a contact to them, send them this video. Maybe this helps, but if not, I don't mind because this is a really good tip. And guys, this list definitely isn't final, so you're more than welcome to share your favorite basic brands in the comments. We will then build up an archive via the newsletter, which will grow over time and with your help. Let's talk about colors next. We are just as reserved with colors as we are with patterns. To put together an effective yet beautiful outfit, we should begin by working with neutral and muted colors. To make it easier for you at the beginning and for you to feel more confident, you can use the following rule of thumb. Don't combine more than 3 colors in your core outfit. But we leave your jacket out of this for now. More color gradations and more bold combinations can still be done later on once we've gotten better. To give you an example, you can never go wrong if you create a base of white and gray or white and beige and then combine a third muted color on top. No matter which one, the combination always works. Without listing the complete basic wardrobe now, let's put together a short shopping list. Just take 2 pairs of gray pants, light gray and dark gray, preferably flannel or wool. Jeans would of course also work if you wanted to be more casual and comfortable. Add a beige chino, but preferably sand colored and not yellowish cheesy. For now, just wear a white t-shirt or a white shirt. On top of that, a sweater, a zipper jacket or a round neck, whatever you like, in the colors light gray, dark blue, dark green or dark red. And voila, everything can be combined with each other. Use the colors on the gray pants and even dark gray on light gray looks great. I'm aware that this is very simple and anything but witchcraft, but build your confidence first. First, build up a feeling for colors and get what you deserve, namely appreciative words from those around you. Because they will come, I promise. And then we can get more complicated. Or have you ever seen someone jump into the sea without learning how to swim first? I don't think so. So before we get to how to finish the whole outfit with the outermost layer, let's talk very briefly about another variant of color combinations, namely monochrome. You can, as in this case, stay completely in one color and its slightly different nuances. It looks striking, but is also a bit bold to start with and only works with darker shades unless you want to make a manic impression on others. Monochrome outfits work wonderfully with dark brown, dark blue, dark gray and black. However, not every single item has to be in this color scheme if that's just too much for you. For example, use a light colored bottom layer such as a shirt or t-shirt. Our learning here is keep it simple, create basic outfits and work with simple but solid color combinations. The next tip, set highlights. As mentioned, the bases are relatively simple and can consist of really inexpensive minimalistic pieces. However, we can enhance the simplicity by adding specific highlights with trench coats, short coats, quilted jackets, leather jackets, field jackets and vests. These items take up over 50% of our look when we step outside the door in the colder months, as they cover up the rest of the outfit. So on the one hand, it makes sense to choose something that is plain or with a small pattern and goes with all possible shoe and trouser combinations. On the other hand, it also makes sense to choose something that looks special and looks high quality. So my tip, focus on these highlights in terms of quality and cost, because a nice jacket, a cool coat or a very detailed vest will shine like a halo on the rest of your look and thus elevate your whole outfit. Style is not a question of money, but of the ability to make inexpensive things look expensive. This is exactly the technique I'm using for my combinations. The basis is kept relatively simple, but the looks are still very effective. Firstly, because I pay attention to color harmonies, and secondly, because my highlights are always of especially high quality. These can be a leather jacket, a quilted jacket, a field jacket, or a variety of coats in winter. But anyways, let's talk briefly about brands for the jackets mentioned. Basically, you can't bypass the biggest ones, which definitely aren't cheap, but produce high quality and superb items. I'm talking about Pini Parma, Suit Supply, Boggi Milano, Hackett London, Sandro Paris, Oscar Jacobsen, Sir of Sweden, Marco Polo, Profumo, and yes, I have to be honest, Hugo Boss too. I'm not a big fan of the brand, but let's talk about that in a short, shall we? And of course, I got you covered with brands for a lower budget too. You simply can't go wrong with brands like Mango, Uniqlo, Pier 1, S. Oliver, Lindbergh and Massimo Dutti. Hey, and again, again, you may, you even must add brands in the comments that I've left out here to help each other out. And guys, of course, this video wouldn't be called Tons of Style for Little Money if I wouldn't provide you with another cost-saving plan. So the next tip is use platforms and sales. Quality and a certain sophistication of the product in terms of design will always cost a certain amount of money, no question. But does it have to be the latest collection? That, my people, is a rhetorical question, because the answer is clearly no. We focus on a timeless wardrobe anyway, which is why we don't have to run to the stores as soon as the new collections get launched. The keyword is sale. Whether in retail or online, it makes absolutely sense to buy counter-cyclically and wait for sales, especially if you don't need something urgent. Because quite honestly, if I can save 20, 30, 40 or even more %, then I would be stupid to buy without thinking ahead. Sure, you might miss out on 1 or 2 items. That's why I would always weigh up beforehand whether I really need something or I just want something. Otherwise, you can also use online platforms like Oguz.com, which offer all sorts of designer goods from the previous collections at a discount of over 70% in some cases. However, you should definitely set filters correctly here, otherwise you'll be browsing like crazy. Set filters like type of garment, color, size and maximum price. And do you know why buying counter-cyclically makes so much sense? Exactly, because, and you have to be honest now, you would have never thought about looking for winter clothing right now, right? Nobody does. And that's when you make the best bargains online. I will help you build your basic wardrobe in the future, but already be on the lookout for sales on knitwear and jackets. I'm telling you, that's a game changer. And other than using sales, I highly recommend going vintage or secondhand too. Most of my really cool items I've purchased on eBay or Vinted, because the big luxury brands such as Ralph Lauren, Ferragamo, Belstaff and others produce high quality, long-lasting clothing and have always done so, which is why you can find mind-blowing bargains on secondhand products and sometimes even brand new items on these platforms. I recommend looking for jackets, vests and sweaters in particular, as they are relatively easy to estimate in terms of size. You can also do the same offline, of course, by visiting secondhand stores. If you want me to do a vintage shopping tour video in the future, for example, kindly let me know in the comment section. And to show you a few examples of treasures just waiting to be discovered. On eBay, I found this vest from Ralph Lauren for $28, these loafers for $1 from Levant, and these from CH Bass for just $1 as well. On Vinted, there was this barber wax jacket for 45 euros, and at a vintage store in Hamburg, Rudolf Buffet, there was this leather jacket for 330 by Ralph Lauren. And in a vintage store near Naples in Italy, this Belstaff jacket for $35. And guys, this wasn't even a third of my best buys. The topic is so complex and fun that I think it deserves a separate video. And in order to save time and be as efficient as possible, I would like to add one more tip to the list, and that is going shopping with a concrete plan. Look for inspiration and plan out exactly which items of clothing you need and then go on a purposeful search. Because especially when we have a great need but go into the city without a plan, it's like going to the supermarket hungry. You buy what you crave and not what you really need. The less you know what you want, the more open you are to things you don't need. As a result, mispurchases accumulate in your closet and it fills up. To the point where your wardrobe is packed, but you still get to the point where you stand in front of your closet and say, man, somehow I've just got nothing to wear. Our learning here: use sales, buy anti-cyclically, write a specific shopping list and stick to it, boys. And let's move on to our last tip, and that is the fit of our clothing. You don't have to buy expensive and off-the-rack perfectly fitting items. Cheaper items paired with clever alterations is enough. An outfit that consists of items that fit perfectly automatically looks more sophisticated because the items look like if they were made for you. It's not about wearing particularly form-fitting items, no, but it's about clothes that flatter your body and are neither too big and wide in the sleeves, the waist and legs, nor too slim and tight. They should simply fit the silhouette of your body. This aspect applies regardless if you're small and thin or tall and packed. If your clothes are not fitted, as a chubby person you will appear even chubbier when your clothing is too wide, because it visually increases the surface area of your body. But clothes that are too tight then emphasize your slight access on certain body parts in a different way. The misconception among men is that we have to find clothes that fit us right away and at every point off the rack, especially when it comes to pants. The perfect pair of jeans fits around the hips, the thighs, the calves, and then ends neatly on the shoe. But we need to be aware of the following. Clothes in stores are made to fit tens tens of thousands of people on average and not just you. Of course, there are pieces here and there that fit us perfectly, but that is either luck or extremely hard to find and will make your shopping sessions stressful and very unproductive. What I'm saying is you don't have to go for an expensive pair of 7 jeans that might fit right away. You can also get a pair from Selected Homme, for example, and have them fitted by a tailor. The only important aspect is that the trousers fit reasonably well around the waist, and the rest you can easily get alterated. I do this with every pair of jeans and chinos I own. So it's better to go for a cheaper pair of jeans and then have them adjusted again than to buy an expensive pair that doesn't fit quite as well. And of course, the same applies to a suit. You will never find an off-the-rack suit that fits you perfectly everywhere. Have small alterations made and get the suit to fit 90%. 100% would be great, but that would be made to measure, and that is mostly extremely expensive. And the question is, of course, do you really need it? I own about 30 suits and almost all of them are off the rack with sometimes more, sometimes less alterations. The most important points are adjustments around the length of the sleeves with shirts, jackets or coats. Also the width of these items around the waist and downwards. And also the length of the trousers, which, with slight alterations, should end approximately on top of the shoe with a slight braid at max. Where can you have these adjustments made? At an alteration shop, perhaps even nearby. And how do you know they're doing a decent job? Let them start with a small alteration first and then work your way up to a jacket, for example. Or just see what else they've got hanging in the store. If there are suits or jackets hanging there, you should be fine. Otherwise, you can also simply visit a Men's Outfitter or a Tommy Hilfiger store in the next larger town or city. They always work with a local tailor if customers have alteration requests. So far, they've always given out the address of their tailor without any issues. And how do you know how your clothing should fit? The answer lies in your personal taste. Look at photos online of how other people's outfits fit, for example via Pinterest and the search term outfit men's style. Find a picture where you like the fit and length of the trousers and simply show it to the tailor. And guys, the only thing now left to do is for you to make it happen. Fashion isn't rocket science, it just has to do with training our aesthetics. And you know, if we can do this together and you get your first compliments, I promise you this will have an effect on you. And that is exactly what you and I are working towards. Hey guys, I wasn't joking. Let me show you the situation, how everything looks around me. 1 second. That's just a part of everything, but guys, this is the biggest step of my wife's and my life. This is going to be crazy. Either way, it could be extremely horrible, it could be the best move we've ever done, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a range of experiences. We're going to mature. I think it's going to be a great experience. Either way, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And for me, this is just a perfect timestamp. Maybe I'm looking back on this in 5 years and be like, look where you started in this mess. Yeah, dreaming big, wanting to conquer the States. It's going to be cool. Looking forward to it. This is the beginning of something great, hopefully. If not, I'm see you in Miami.